River Region Evening Edition. It happened again, this time in Southern California, with an estimated 20 people shot. A phone scammer is victimizing people in Southern Illinois, posing as a deputy for the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And gun sales set a new record in the U.S.
News from around the world, across the nation, and here in the River Region. This is the award-winning Student Newscast, coming to you live from Southern Illinois University. River Region Evening Edition begins now.
We begin with breaking news. Police confirm within the hour that more than a dozen people are dead after a mass shooting in California. Good evening, I'm Joey Dalo.
And I'm Joe Rree. Police estimate 14 people are dead and another 14 injured after gunmen opened fire at a facility for developmental disabilities. It happened in San Bernardino, California. A massive search is underway for as many as 3 suspects in the shootings.
Walking from LA Fitness, walking up over just to get down because I have bipolar and I wanted to get to the center. And I was just walking down, and this lady and a couple others heard shots, and I heard from over there. But then I started walking, and all of a sudden I got into chaos. And who knows? It just boom, 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 boom. And then, I'm just right in the middle of it.
If you've received a call,
San Bernardino Police Sergeant Vicky Cervantes says the gunmen were wearing military-style clothing during the rampage. In a news conference this afternoon, the FBI called the incident domestic terrorism.
A handgun was found in a locker on the West Frankfort Community High School campus today. School officials say a male juvenile was taken into custody yesterday after a possible gun was reported. He was interviewed and suspended from school after an item of drug paraphernalia was recovered. School officials actually located the handgun today. In a statement posted to the school's website, Superintendent Greg Goins said the gun was not loaded. The male juvenile has been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, transporting a weapon onto state property, as well as theft.
Well, Joey, some people are still being affected by our weekend rains.
Weathercaster Colin Dorsey is here with a look at flooding in the River Region.
Right now, the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky has issued an active flood warning for several counties in Illinois and Missouri. Those counties looking at Alexander, Union, Jackson, and Randolph, and also Monroe counties in Illinois, moving across the Mississippi River into Missouri. We have Perry, Cape Girardeau, Scott, St. Genevieve, and Jefferson counties in Missouri. What a warning means is conditions are favorable for flood conditions, or flood conditions are happening right now. And those are mainly happening as the water that came over the weekend moving downriver, making the river rise to its flood stage. Looking into tonight, seeing an overnight low of 30 degrees and mostly cloudy skies, then into tomorrow morning, right around 9 o'clock, we'll see 37 degrees and sunny skies. By midday tomorrow, 44 degrees and beautiful sunny skies. I'll have more coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Colin. A phone scammer is victimizing Southern Illinois residents, claiming they could get arrested if they don't send money. River Region reporter Anthony Wilder says the caller is posing as a sheriff's deputy.
if you've received a call within the last month from a James Davis, you may have been a part of a phone scam. Scamming is done through a process called ID spoofing. Spoofing happens when the caller intentionally disguises their identity. Corporal Max Snyder of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office says there isn't a specific victim demographic.
As far as we can tell, just here in Jackson County, it's just whoever they can get a hold of and try to obtain information from.
This James Davis is asking potential victims to call a Sean Woods at the IRS. The victims are asked to send money in the form of a MoneyGram immediately or risk being arrested.
This type of phone scamming is more common around major holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas. So how does one combat this type of ID spoofing? And what are the necessary steps to take?
Well, the main thing is to not give any personal information out over the telephone. If the IRS or a police department wants to gather information from you, they'll typically mail you a document or show up at your door.
Scammers can have easy access to ID spoofing by downloading free or paid apps. Attorney General spokesperson Annie Thompson says the number of scams appear on the rise.
last year alone, we received over 2,600 complaints statewide related to identity theft and those sorts of scams.
The Jackson County Sheriff's Office has no leads on who the scammers may be. For River Region Evening Edition, I'm Anthony Wilder.
If you think you've been a victim of such a scam, contact the Jackson County Sheriff's Office or your local police department.
The financial picture for southern Illinois counties as well and towns got a little better this afternoon. The Illinois House has approved a plan to release $1.9 billion to local government. The money had been frozen because of no budget agreement. The money can be used for road upkeep, 911 dispatch centers, and domestic violence shelters. The Senate will vote on the bill this Monday.
This year's Black Friday sale saw a new record in firearm sales.
And Mark Zuckerberg and his wife gave birth to their child and also announced a new philanthropy initiative.
Gun sale background checks have set a new record. The FBI reports more Americans had background checks for gun purchases this Black Friday than on any other day on record. More than 185,000 requests were processed by the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. That's 5% more than the previous Black Friday.
Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez says he won't vote for Anita Alvarez in the next election because of her handling of the Laquan McDonald shooting case. In a letter obtained by the Chicago Sun-Times, Gutierrez says he refuses to vote for the Cook County State's Attorney Alvarez. He expressed there was an inexcusable delay in the charging of Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke in the shooting death of McDonald. The case started over a year ago. Alvarez said she was disappointed by Gutierrez's decision and will not resign.
A new poll finds Donald Trump is now the undisputed leader of the Republican presidential pack, with a 10-point lead over his nearest competitors. And a separate poll finds Hillary Clinton has a 2-to-1 lead over Bernie Sanders in the Democratic race. The study also shows general election voters have shifted their support from the Republican candidates towards Clinton and Sanders. It also shows in a head-to-head competition, Clinton would beat Trump 47% to 41%, but it would be much closer with Marco Rubio, 45% to 44%, Ted Cruz, 47% to 42%, and Ben Carson, 46% to 43%.
The first trial of an officer in the Freddie Gray case began today. William Porter is among 6 Baltimore police officers charged in the death of Gray. Court officials say the opening statements in the trial will begin after jury selection wraps up today. Prosecutors say Gray died after a spinal cord injury he received in a police van after his arrest in April. Defense attorneys are expected to once again ask for a change of venue because of publicity surrounding the case. Porter, along with the other officers, had pleaded not guilty to charges of manslaughter, second-degree assault, and misconduct in office and reckless endangerment.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan are celebrating a new chapter in their lives. They are the parents of a new baby girl. Maxima Chan Zuckerberg made her grand entrance last week. A few weeks before Max's arrival, her parents recorded their hopes for their daughter and all children of her generation.
The only way that we reach our full human potential is if we're able to unlock the gifts of every person around the world.
We need to make sure that there are investments in programs that ensure that the future isn't going to be like today. The future is going to be better.
Chan and Zuckerberg also pledged to donate 99% of their Facebook stock, which is worth about $45 billion right now, to promote equality and the human potential. You can read more about the Chan-Zuckerberg initiative on Facebook.
Soft drinks are off the kids' menus at 2 popular restaurant chains. Applebee's and IHOP are only serving soft drink to children by request. The move is the latest trim back on soda consumption by children. Many school districts have also pulled soda machines from school cafeterias and menus. The Centers for Disease Control reports childhood obesity has more than doubled in the last 30 years, and roughly 1 in 5 kids is classified as obese.
Canada plans a fast resettlement of Syrian refugees and considers the movement to be a model for other countries. With thousands of refugees immigrating into other countries, Canada has created a resettling program that will take in 25,000 refugees by March. 10,000 refugees will resettle by the end of this year. Ambassador Bruno Sacamani says the other countries have expressed interest in the new model as well.
NATO appears set to expand yet again, as today it formally invited Montenegro to join the alliance. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization announced an invitation today at its headquarters in Belgium. Montenegro is a small Balkan nation on the Adriatic Sea, east of Italy. The move is likely to anger Russia, which considers NATO expansion a threat to its security. Montenegro already supports NATO efforts in Afghanistan and has cooperated with the alliance in other ways.
I believe this invitation is a great encouragement for all the countries that aspire to join NATO, and it is a particularly good news for the Western Balkans because another Western Balkan country as part of the NATO means a strong boost for security and stability of the entire region.
Over the next 2 days, NATO ministers will meet to discuss several other issues, among them how to support a stable Afghanistan, as well as providing additional support of Turkey and Ukraine while improving relations with Russia.
After the break, Colin Dorsey has a look at our weekend weather forecast.
And the stock market saw a dip today. Tune into the nightly business report at 5:30 on WSIU.
Good evening, I'm Colin Dorsey with your River Region weather forecast. Here's what we can expect coming up in the days ahead. We do have some colder nights coming in than what we've seen the past few nights, and also some warmer days coming along, and also a fair weekend temperature for a pretty nice weekend for the first weekend of December. Looking into right now outside in Jackson County and Carbondale, partly cloudy skies, 45 is your temperature right now. Dew point quite a bit lower at 27 degrees. Relative humidity hovering right around 49%. Not too bad at all for this time of year. And also wind gusting out of the west of up to 14 miles per hour, gusting up to around 22 miles. Looking at your almanac for the rest of today, low temperature we saw of 33 degrees. A little bit above average of our average temperature of 30 degrees. Quite a bit warmer than 9 in 1929. We did see a high temperature of 45, lower than average at 49, record at 71 in 1982. Looking at temperatures from around the region, Carbondale once again sitting at 45 degrees, Marion and Paducah also sitting at 45. Mount Vernon quite a bit cooler at 43, and Belleville sitting at our coolest spot at 41 degrees this evening, Cape Girardeau 47. Looking at your conditions across the country right now, we're sitting in a fairly high pressure zone. That's what's bringing in these warm, or not really warm, but sunny conditions in our region. But as this low pressure system does continue to rotate in a counterclockwise motion, it will bring some of this chance of precipitation, which does bring a chance of precipitation into our northern counties, such as Washington and Clinton counties. Temperatures looking at around 1 to 2 o'clock tomorrow. We will see some fairly warm temperatures for this time of year, 40 for most of our region. Florida, however, looking at somewhere in the low 80s right now. Our northern areas of the United States faring pretty warm. Looking for tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 30 degrees, northwestern winds of up to 15 miles per hour by tomorrow. Looking at sunny skies, high of 48 degrees, light and variable winds, so not too bad outside. By tomorrow night, however, pretty clear skies, very chilly, 27 degrees, but also light and variable winds, sun setting at 4:38. Here's a check of your 5-day weather forecast. Looking into Friday, expect a high of 53 degrees and sunny skies, overnight low of 30. 56 on Saturday and beautiful sunny skies, but we do have a 40% chance of rain coming up on Sunday.
Looks like it could be a decent weekend. Thank you, Colin.
It really does.
Thank you. The SIU men's basketball team will try for the 7th win of the season tonight.
And the women's basketball team will be on the road again in hopes of ending their losing skid. Zach Thomas has more in sports.
The Saluki volleyball team will attempt to make history, but it may be difficult for some fans to see. And one SIU baseball transfer is making strides both on and off the field. All that and more coming up on River Region Sports. Saluki men's basketball team aims for its 7th win tonight against regional rival SEMO. The Redhawks are winless in 5 games, while the Dogs are off to their best start in 9 years. Head coach Barry Hinson has reinstated forward Bola Alanyan from suspension. However, the Nigerian native won't play in tonight's game. Hinson says his top rebounder has some homework to do if he wants to return to the court. The Salukis host Southeast Missouri State tonight at SIU Arena. Tip-off is at 7 and can be watched on ESPN3. The SIU women are on the road to Tennessee with a matchup against Murray State tonight. Both teams will be looking for their 3rd win of the season after coming off losses in their previous outings. Last season, the Salukis defeated the Racers 78-63 behind Diana Pierre's 31 points. She broke a 32-year-old school record of field goals without a miss, shooting 14 of 14 from the field in that game. Tip-off is set for tonight at 6 p.m. Saluki fans are out of luck as all tickets to Friday's volleyball game in Louisville are sold out. SIU plays Illinois in the first round of the tournament. Danny Valle is at Davies Gym with the latest.
Zach, SIU volleyball held their final practice at Davies Gym today before heading on the road to Louisville to play Illinois in the NCAA tournament on Friday. It's the first time SIU has been to the dance ever in their franchise history. And Meg Viggers says although they should be cautiously optimistic, it's going to be business as usual against Illinois.
Just as we approach Missouri State, just as we approach Wichita, just as we approach Dayton, we're going to go into with the same mindset and hopefully compete as we have been doing all season.
I think it's great when you get a chance to compete against great teams, and Illinois certainly is one of those this year. But we feel like we have a great shot as long as we do our thing effectively.
SIU and Illinois meet at 3 p.m. from Carbondale Arena in Louisville. Should SIU win, they'll face the winner of either Louisville and Belmont, and then the winner of that matchup will move on to the Sweet 16 in Des Moines. From Davies Gym, this is Danny Valle for River Region Evening Edition Sports.
And incoming baseball players already turning heads at SIU after just 2 years playing up the road at John A. Logan College. River Region reporter Orlando Totley has the story.
Strength, speed, and power are all skills that this newest Saluki transfer will bring to the mound this season.
Joe's got everything you could almost want to from a guy. He's a built guy. He's stocky. He's left-handed, which is an advantage to him as well. He's got great breaking stuff. Throws the ball hard. Hits spots well, spots up. There's not a whole lot that you can not like from him. He brings a lot to the table.
Coming from John A. Logan Community College, where he received Freshman of the Year honors and maintained a team-low 1.84 ERA in his 2 years in attendance, Joey Marciano has shown that he can be more than impressive on the field. But head baseball coach Ken Henderson says the way he is off the field is what makes him so special.
I think the amazing thing is that I had no idea how good a kid he really is. He is a phenomenal person, and immediately fit in with everybody on this team. He's one of the most popular guys on the team. He's just a genuine good person.
But along with being an expected huge addition to the team, Marciano is also a student, and he says that it can get tough at times, but he uses baseball as his motivator and a way of relieving stress.
Especially coming from a junior college to a four-year university, the workloads are definitely a lot different, it's a lot harder, and it's just staying on top of the work and really prioritizing. But I would say when I get on the baseball field, I forget all about it because it's my passion, it's my first love, and whenever I'm around the game of baseball, I forget about everything.
For River Region Evening Edition Sports, I'm Orlando Totley.
The Saluki baseball team starts their season in February when they travel to Louisiana to take on McNeese State. Both the Blues and Blackhawks are looking ahead after collecting home losses yesterday. The Blues found themselves downed by the Florida Panthers 3-1. 3 second-period goals propelled Florida to victory, with 2 of them belonging to center Derek McKenzie. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks were bested by the Minnesota Wild 2-1. Patrick Kane extended his career-best point streak to 20 games, but his second-period game-tying goal was not enough, as Wild defenseman Ryan Suter scored the game winner in the third. Both teams hit the road for their next games as the Hawks play Thursday against the Senators and the Blues play Friday against the Islanders.
So, Zach, do you think those Lady Salukis down in Louisville can make it up to the second round?
I think so. They've been playing strong all season, and I don't think that their loss in the MVC tournament should get them down at all.
Thank you, Zach. Tomorrow is our last show of the semester. We'll be wrapping up with Saluki Sports View. Zach Thomas tells us more after the break.
And some middle school students have been showing off their holiday spirit.
Here are some of the stories in the days ahead. Tomorrow is our Saluki Sports View show, where we profile Anthony Bean as he finishes up his final year of SIU basketball. An SIU club increases its size of members thanks to their new club advisor, and we invite athletic director Tommy Bell to the show to talk about the recent firing of Dale Lennon. Join us Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock for SIU Student Newscast on the WSIU television stations.
Some middle school computer programming students in Sioux City, Iowa are showing off their skill with this festive of lights display. The lights are synced to music ranging from the Star Wars theme to Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The students use more than 81,000 lights and 20 miles of wires for the display.
Colin, can we take one last look at that weather?
Sure. Looking into this weekend, some pretty nice temperatures, 56 on Saturday and 55 on Sunday, except with that 40% chance of rain in there. But overall, not too bad in the days ahead.
Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you for joining us tonight. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at River Region News. I'm Joey Dalo.
And I'm Joe Fry. For Colin Dorsey, Zach Thomas, and more than 100 students who work on Evening Edition, good night.